Hey there, Vicky. Is now a good time to talk? I actually had a little thing that I wanted to ask you. Oh, hey there, Lana. Don't tell me that you're about to ask for what I think you are. Again. Oh, but come on, you know how important this is to me, and I don't have anyone else that I can go to about this. I understand that, but it's not like you're asking for some kind of simple favor that's just one and done. I know, but you have to know that it's not like I want to have to ask you like this, right? It's just that you've always been someone that I can count on, and I really, really need your help right now. You know I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't serious, right? You say that, but I'm just wondering if you really tried everything that you can do first. Because I just feel like you and your husband are always asking me for favors. And the last time when you came to ask me if I could give you any money, you said it would be the last time that you asked for anything. I know I said that, but that was only because I thought that things were going fine with Rick and his job search. Needless to say, things did not exactly go as we hoped they would. Well, look, I'm not trying to say that Rick hasn't or isn't trying really hard to look for a job or anything like that. But do you think you can really say that you're doing everything possible to support him as well? I mean, I would think that since the both of you work, there should be at least some wiggle room financially. But I am trying. I'm working really hard to do everything that I can, but the thing is that I just can never get enough shifts at work. And I think that my boss is actually trying to keep me from working sometimes. Actually, I guess I should tell you that I quit my job because I thought my boss was bullying me. But this always happens. My bosses come on to me and then get mad when I turn them down, and so then they cut my hours. I'm sorry, Lana, but just to make sure that we're on the same page, you are 33 years old, right? Yeah, I am, but what does any age have to do with anything that I've been telling you here, Vicky? Well, I wonder if it might not just have more to do with your personality than being some kind of the way to get back at you. No, I am telling you that I am trying really hard. I really want things to work out. None of this is my fault. It's all other people trying to bully me into doing whatever they want me to do. Besides, the thing that you don't seem to understand is that I'm just prettier than the other people my age. I guess you wouldn't understand that, but this is something that I've just had to deal with all my life. Well, I think that some of that might just be in your head. I mean, if you really think that you're always the prettiest in the room, then maybe look around a little more. Besides, I already know that it's not exactly like you like working. You've already talked about how if you could, you would make it so that you never have to work again. Okay, so maybe some of that is true, but that still doesn't mean that I'll refuse to work and the situation calls for it. Wait a second, that reminds me. You said that you had some business partner of yours whose CEO was looking for a secretary, right? You know, that's the kind of job that sounds just perfect to me. I think I would make a really great secretary now that I think about it. Huh? You make it sound as if being a secretary has been a dream job of yours or something. But I also wonder if that's because you don't quite understand just how much work that would actually entail. I mean, it really isn't an easy position, and if you're just picturing sitting around at a desk all day, then you've got things very wrong. Well, then what if you hired Rick for your company? After all, you are the CEO, so you should be able to make that happen easily, right? I mean, on paper, yes, I could make that happen. But given that I would be hiring my brother-in-law, that wouldn't look very good on me. But Rick is more than welcome to apply to the company and go through the hiring process if he wants. The only thing that I know you've told me about how Rick can have angry outbursts and has a habit of sloughing off his work onto others. Not only that, but you've also told me that he's gotten into trouble for taking time off without telling anyone beforehand. He's just a very idiosyncratic guy, that's all. I promise you that he's not really as bad as he sounds. Look, I understand the position you're in, and this pains me to say this, but maybe you should rethink your relationship with Rick. Vicky! What is the matter with you? How could you even say something like that to me? You really think that I should leave my husband just because he doesn't make a ton of money? I honestly can't believe that I'm hearing something like that from my own sister. You do know that it's not like I married him for his money-making skills in the first place, right? I married him because I love him. Okay then, Lana, if you two really love each other so much, then it makes it all the more difficult to believe that the two of you have really exhausted every option to support one another. I'm sorry, Vicky, I'm really not trying to pick a fight with you over this. Look, I'll go and try to find another job, I promise. I just need a little support, and that's all that I really want to ask of you, okay? I really do want to help you, and I want to believe that this time it will be different, but we've done this song and dance so many times before. Please, I promise you that this time really is going to be different. You have my word. I mean, you know that we have to take care of Erin. She just started high school, so that fact is at the top of all our other expenses. We've also got a growing teenage daughter to help put through school. Did you know that Erin didn't even have a cell phone? Wait a second, your daughter is in high school and she doesn't have a cell phone? We just can't afford it. It's not that we don't want to give her one, but we just can't make it work. But what about even a simple data plan with a really basic phone? It's really important for a girl her age to be able to stay in contact with her friends. You have to at least get her a cell phone, Lana. Well, I am telling you that we just can't afford it. Although you could always buy her a phone and pay for her plan if you wanted to. Okay, fine, I can do that. I'll go and pick out a phone and buy a SIM card, and then I'll send it to your house. Just ask Erin what kind of phone she wants. Well, I'm really happy that you want to help out your niece so badly, but there's still the question of how you can help Rick and I. I think that you're asking me for a lot of trust right now, Lana. I mean, every time I've helped you in the past, you stop talking to me completely until you need more help. You really don't do a good job of making the people who help you feel like they're appreciated beyond what they can do for you. Well, if you want me to call you and talk to you more often, you should have just said so. I promise to keep you updated about my job hunt, and I'll let you know if I find anything. I mean, did you know that we can't even afford to pay all of our utility bills? So now it's a matter of choosing between water, electricity, or gas this month. Okay, I get it, but I want you to know that I am not giving this money to help you and Rick, but to help your daughter. But this really is going to be the last time that I help you out. I mean it. You need to find a real job and support your family. Thank you so much. I really am sorry for this. I know that I'm always bothering you for help, but I want to let you know that we really appreciate it. I mean, you know that I had to drop out of high school to have Erin, so I never even got my diploma. I'm sure that you must think I'm an idiot. Lana, of course I don't think that you're an idiot. I don't think that at all. But I think you need to learn to work just a little bit harder. And if your level of education really bothers you, then have you ever thought of getting a GED or something like that? I'm sure that having a document like that would help a lot with finding jobs that you would like more. I just don't even know if there would be any point in all that and me getting something like that at my age and where I'm at in life. I think that whether or not it's worth it is up to the individual to decide for themselves. But you should know that there are a lot of jobs to be had out there, and they're not all bad. Either way, I think getting a GED could only help improve your situation. You really think so? Well, okay, I'll go a little more thinking about it in that case. I suppose you're right. I can't always be relying on you to come and help me when I need it. Well, I just hope that you and Rick can find jobs that work well for you soon. Even if you don't work full-time, even a few part-time jobs can go a long way. But the important thing is that you're both working. You understand that, right? Yes, I understand completely. If you wouldn't mind just sending the money to the usual account that you've sent it to in the past. And thanks again for everything. It really does mean so much to me. Hey there, Vicky. I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind sending us another $2,000? Wait, what? But I just gave you all some money last month, didn't I? Yes, you did, but I decided to take your advice and go for getting my GED. There's an online course that I've started taking to study for the test and everything. Wait, really? You mean you actually listened to advice that I had to give you? That's a little surprising. Well, I really took it to heart. I want to change myself and be able to feel more confident. I think feeling like I finally finished high school is going to be a huge step for me in doing that. Besides, I can't always be relying on you and Rick for everything now, can I? Well, if that's really what you need some extra money for, then I guess I can make an exception and help you. But you have to promise me that you're going to follow through with this and that you won't quit in the middle. Yes, that's completely fair. I promise that I won't do any of that and I'll see the whole thing through. By the way, have you heard at all from Erin lately? Yes, actually I got a message from her recently and I realized just how long it had been since we last talked. It was really nice to catch up with her. That's great to hear. Did she say anything to you at all? Well, we talked about a lot of different things. Is there something in particular that you're asking about? I just mean was just polite and well-behaved in what she was talking to you about? Yeah, of course she was. She was telling me about what she wanted to do after high school and stuff like that. Oh, I see. So that's what the two of you were talking about. She doesn't talk about any of that with Rick and I. But I guess she doesn't really think much of us as parents. I think she sees right through our money problems. Lana, please, you shouldn't put yourself down like that. I mean, you're the one raising Erin, and I think that's a feat in itself. I know, but having Erin was the whole reason that our parents decided to take me out of their will completely. Well, that's not entirely fair, right? I mean, Mom was helping you at first, but you told her not to tell you what to do, and then you ran away. I know, but I was just so young and stupid then. I really didn't know at all what I was getting myself into. I know, but even so, you made the choice yourself, and that choice still has consequences today. But I really don't think that I could have done what you did. Maybe I just hate change too much. Who knows, maybe that's why I don't have a boyfriend. Vicky, I really am sorry if I had said some rude things the last time that we talked. You know that I wasn't trying to fight with you at all, right? Oh, it's okay. I know that you were just being honest with me. Besides, I'm sure having to ask for help just naturally makes you more defensive. I think you might be right about that, but I want you to know that I really am going to try from here on out. And I have a really good feeling about how things are going to work out. I know it's going to be difficult and challenging, but I'm actually excited for the first time in a long time to be learning something. I just want to be a mom that my daughter can be proud of. Well, I think that if those are the feelings behind you making this choice for yourself, then there's no way you can fail. You have my full support in this, okay, Lana? Thank you so much, Vicky, but it's not just Erin. I want to be a daughter that Mom and Dad can be proud of, too. All my life I've relied on you whenever I needed help. I can't imagine that Mom and Dad have any reason to feel proud of anything I've accomplished. Well, I'm sure that doing this is really going to help your relationship with our parents. And I'll be there to support you all the way through, okay? Thank you so much for doing all that you do for me, Vicky. If you could please just send the money to the usual account, I'll let you know when the course official starts. Great, please do that. And if you ever need any help studying or anything like that, just let me know. Of course. By the way, Rick is also going to start working through a temp agency, so I really think things are going to get better. Oh, well, that is also just really great to hear. I'm glad that you're so optimistic for this. Well, if we didn't do this, then we wouldn't be able to keep living in our house even, but yes, hopefully this ends our financial worries for a while. You'll be hearing from me again soon, Vicky. Thanks again. Hey, Aunt Vicky, are you there? Do you have some time to talk to me? Oh, Erin, what a lovely surprise. Of course we can talk. Is everything okay? I was just wondering if you were already done working for the day. If you're still busy, then we can have this conversation at another time. I don't mind. I was actually just about to head home, so you reached out to me at the perfect time. Thank you for asking, though. Your mom was asking to make sure you were being polite with me the other day, and I told her that you always are. But you don't have to worry about whether I'm at work or not. I always enjoy getting to talk with you. I know, but I just heard from my mom that you were really, really busy with work is all. I am busy, yes, but I wouldn't say that I'm any more busy than anyone else who works for me. Anyways, what did you want to talk to me about? Is there something on your mind? Well, I just thought you should know that I'm looking for a job. I dropped out of high school and I want to work now. Wait, what? What do you mean? Are you serious about that, Aaron? And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Even if it's part-time work, I'm open for anything. I just want to save up enough money so that I can move out and live on my own already. Now, hold on just one moment. So you really dropped out of school just to work? Why would you do something like that? Did something happen at school that made you want to quit? Is everything okay? I wouldn't say that everything is okay, but it didn't have anything to do with school, if that's what you want to know. I see, but then what did happen to make you want to go and do something like this? I just need money right now. I need to pay for food and utilities and stuff. You mean even right now at home? But that can't be right. Your mom told me that you all were doing okay. Well, the truth is that neither my mom or dad have been home at all in the past 6 months. Apparently, they've even stopped paying the rent for the house, so I was told that I have until the end of the month to move out. Hold on a second, you're telling me that both your mom and dad haven't been home at all in the past half a year? And that you've been living at home by yourself since then? Just how have you been supporting yourself? Well, when I started high school, I also went out looking for some part-time work, but doing that in school, I was only able to make a couple $100 a month. So all my work really just went to putting off the inevitable now that I'm completely out of money. There is no way that you would be able to cover the utilities, groceries, and whatever else you might need with so little money. I know, and school has been so much more difficult than I thought. I tried to send a text to my mom asking for help, but she only sends me $100 every now and then. But ever since I texted her telling her that I'm about to be kicked out of the house, she hasn't responded to me at all. I'm all alone. Aaron, I want you to know that I am going to go over and pick you up right now. Wait, you're going to come all the way here? But isn't it a really long drive for you? It's a bit far, but I'll still be able to make it there before midnight. I want you to start packing up your bags and pick some things that you want to keep. You're going to live with me from now on. You really mean it? You really don't mind if I go and live with you, Aunt Vicky? Of course you can come and live with me. You didn't think that I was just going to leave you in such a horrible situation, right? Thank you so much, Auntie. I don't know what else to say. Well, I was just thinking that you and I hardly ever see each other, but now I realize that I should have been keeping a much closer eye on you. I am so sorry you're going through all of this. I really had no idea any of this was happening. I guess that means I can finally make up my mind. Make up your mind about what, sweetie? What are you talking about? I mean that this whole time I thought that no matter how bad my parents were, that I could never just forget about them because they were my parents. I knew that they weren't the most responsible people, but they were mine, even if they hardly ever paid any attention to me. I was so patient with them, always giving them second chances and trusting them, but now that they've done this, I know exactly how they really feel about me. Oh, Aaron, no child your age should have been going through what you are now. You should have adults in your life who you can count on. I hope you know that I'll always be there for you. I mean, you aren't even legally an adult. I know that both you and your mom might think being in high school means you're a grown-up, but there's a lot to learn. Well, thank you so much for wanting to be there for me, Auntie. It really does mean so much. I guess I'll go and start packing up my things. But you should know that you are not going to be working at my company. While you're living with me, you are to concentrate on studying and having fun, and that's that. Vicky, are you there? You're not going to believe this, but Aaron stole all our money and ran away. What do you mean? I mean that she stole all of our money and ran away from home. She took all that we had and left us without even a single penny. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you again, actually. I can't say I'm surprised you're coming to me like this. Like this? Like what? What do you mean by that? I mean that you were probably just about to ask me if I couldn't send you a little money for help with all of this, right? But, I mean, this isn't our fault. We were robbed. Don't you get it? She took all our money and then ran away. It's funny you say that because she's been living with me for the past month. So I really just have no idea what you're talking about. Hold on. You're telling me that Erin is living at your house now? That's right. But she's been here long enough for me to know that there's no way she could have stolen your money. Besides, I know that you lied to our parents about us. You said that I never help you out, you begged them for money and told them never to bring it up with me. So basically, you've been double-dipping in all the money you've convinced people to send you. No, it isn't like that at all. I just didn't want you to be burdened with supporting us single-handedly. Oh, please, I already know that Rick hasn't had a job in years, or at least nothing even part-time in the last 6 months. Instead, you two have been traveling abroad, isn't that right? Probably going from country to country where the exchange rate is good and living off all the money you've gotten. You even left your own daughter behind just so you would have one less mouth to feed on your trips. But the only reason I was ever sending you money was because I wanted to make sure that Erin had all that she would need to succeed. Well, it's not like we left her homeless. Besides, she is old enough to work. That doesn't matter. She just started high school and you left her at home to fend for herself for months. Besides, don't you know that Erin can only afford to go to the school she's going to because they offered her a scholarship? She isn't going to public school. And if she can't do her work, then she won't hold on to her scholarship. Erin was just about to drop out, just like you, before she reached out to me. Hold on a second, I didn't know any of that. You can't blame me if Erin didn't tell me that about the school that she was going to. Even if you were telling the truth, that still just proves that you're not fit to take care of Erin anymore. I am going to tell our parents about this and make sure that you are never in a position to ruin Erin's life again. After that, I spoke to my parents, who said they always thought that I had some kind of grudge against my sister. I explained how she tricked us both to get the most money she could. I explained about how they had left behind Erin for money while they were traveling around in the countries where their dollars would go the farthest, all while taking side jobs here and there to tide themselves over. Of course, we all agreed to stop giving them any more money. When they came back from their trip, their apartment was already being rented to someone else, and they had nowhere to go. They begged our parents to let them stay with them, but they refused. In the end, both of them had to quickly find jobs and moved into a tiny apartment that they could barely afford. As for Erin, I spoke with her school and explained to them all that had been going on for the past 6 months. They agreed, in light of the circumstances, to let her keep her scholarship and continue her studies. I told the school that I would be taking guardianship of Erin and I would make sure that she always focused on school.
Zoe, where are you right now? When are you going to stop playing around out there and come back home? You're not out there doing something questionable behind our backs right now, correct?
I'm sorry about that, Denise. A new customer and I were just getting carried away a bit too much with our talks. It'll only be another hour or so before I'm back to the company.
You're saying another hour when it's already 5 p.m.? Hurry up and get back here. And now that I think about it, have you gone over to that Sid's construction firm yet today to wish them a Happy New Year?
I did that over the phone today.
You can't be doing something like that over the phone. That company's been around for ages and they do things the old-fashioned way. You go over to their company right now and wish them a Happy New Year in person.
Well, if that's what you want, don't you think it'd be more acceptable if you went and saw them? They are a very important customer of ours, after all.
Why should I have to go over there? Going around and talking to our customers is something a low-level employee like you should be doing. I'm far too specialized in my work to be dealing with company relations.
All right, then. When I get back to you guys, I'll make an appointment to go and see them.
Please do. And once you've done that, I'd like you to finish up on this month's financial documents and have them on my desk. Have you finished everything that has to do with the company's taxes yet? If we don't get those in soon, we'll be in big trouble.
Just give me a little bit longer and I'll have all of that finished up. I plan to continue with that work the moment I get back to the office.
Make sure not to dilly-dally anymore, okay? And at 6 p.m., you need to start preparing dinner, so don't forget that. I'd like to have some fish and vegetables for dinner tonight, so you can work on the company's taxes once you've gone and made dinner. And finish up cleaning the bathroom and doing the laundry before getting back to work.
Denise, I only have one of me right now, okay? Having to do all the chores and cook and then come back and do office work all in a few hours? Please stop giving me so much work to do, all right? And what's the worst is that right now I'm going to have to do your job as well now.
Well, you are my son's wife, so you're the one out of this whole family that has to be the most busy. There is no such thing as time to relax when you're a young wife. You knew that you would be joining a family that runs a company, so you should have been ready from the get-go to be working non-stop. So stop trying to act like this is all too much for you to handle now.
But with the amount of things you're wanting me to do right now, it's getting a bit overwhelming. If you leave me with this much to do tonight, I won't be able to get all of it done. At the very least, can you handle scheduling that appointment for me to go and visit Sid's office? If not, I'll have to do all of that work on top of the financial paperwork and the taxes.
Why are you trying so hard to get out of doing your job? You have experience in doing both office work and running a company, right? You told us before that you went from doing a lot of paper pushing to then working with running a business. It was because of all that experience you have that I allowed you to marry my son.
I can see that now, but
if you have the experience in both of those fields, then you should be doing both. Right now, this world doesn't have enough people in it with experience doing both those things. If we let you get off easily, then other employees in the company would begin to struggle.
But I'm struggling right now.
Stop complaining so much about your job. I was in the same boat as you back when I was your age, where I had to struggle a lot. It's your job as the wife to be struggling until the new wife is brought into the family. So stop wasting time complaining and just get back to work.
Denise, I think that I'll be going back to my parents' house for a little bit tomorrow. So I'll be taking a little bit of time off work. I'm sorry.
Excuse me? What's gotten into you that it's made you say something like that to me?
I just got a call from my parents a moment ago, and it seems that my dad has fallen pretty badly. And after the fall, he had a lot of internal bleeding. And if I try leaving now, I won't be able to get on any plane to take me back, so I'll be leaving first thing tomorrow morning.
He had some internal bleeding, and
because of that, I'm a bit worried about his health, so I'd like to go back home and watch over him for a bit.
And why do you think they need you back over there? It's not like your dad is dying or anything, right?
I'm aware of that, but I'm still worried about him.
Even if you're worried and want to go see him, nothing's going to change the situation for him. He'll be staying in the hospital for a little while, right? So you have nothing to worry about regarding him. You can go over there the day he dies, okay?
Stop saying such heartless things like that, please. I understand that he's not dying, but he could still have something very bad that happens to him, which would make it likely for him to pass away.
Well, until then, there's no reason for you to be going, right? You are going to be busy tomorrow. You stay right here and you will work your job tomorrow just like everyone else will. You have things that you have to do here, and that's all.
What are you talking about, Denise?
I will not allow you to go back to your parents' home.
I'm not going over there to play around or anything, though. Are you telling me that even after my dad has had a bad fall, me going home to see him is unforgivable? In any normal company, they would allow me to take the time off to go and see my family.
Well, that would be the case if you were any normal employee, but you're not, right? You're this family's youngest wife, and the youngest wife does not get such privileges.
That right there is the stupidest excuse I have ever heard for you not letting me go to see my dad who's in the hospital. I know that I'm the new wife in your family, but I did not enter your family to become a slave to you and this company. You saying that it's all okay because I'm the young wife is really screwed up.
Do you really think you're in the position to be acting on your own? You are the most ignorant wife I've ever seen. We have let you into this house, into this family, so you give your body and your time to us. That is the point of you becoming my son's wife, and you cannot break away from that. I'm not okay with any of that. If, per se, there was something that seriously happened to my dad that put him close to death, and you guys kept me from going away to see him before he passed away, I'd regret my life forever and ever. And so what? That all has nothing to do with me and my family. Nothing to do with you and your family? So you don't care about what happens to my dad, then? That's right. He's not my problem, and I couldn't care less about him. This company and my family do not have time to sit around due to some stranger dying. And I'm sure that your dad wishes that you'd just leave him alone and do your job here in my family and for the company. If you were just to go home and leave my family and the company, you would be the biggest disappointment ever for him, right? Well, I'm also worried about my mom right now. I feel that she's in shock now after having to see my dad, her husband, have that bad of a fall. And so as their daughter, it's my job to be back with them by their sides until things go back to normal. If your mother is that worked up over her husband falling over and getting a few cuts, then she's a huge pussy. Don't tell me that she's some kind of a housewife. Maybe if her husband leaves her now, she won't be able to do anything on her own. You stop talking bad about my mom right now. I don't have to talk kindly about your mother, Zoe. Now understand that I will not be allowing you to go back to your parents. That's the end of this discussion. You understand? Hey, where the hell are you right now? I have been looking for you all over the house and can't seem to find you anywhere here. Don't you dare tell me that you went back to your parents' house without my permission. I got on the first plane this morning, and I've already landed here and will be arriving at the hospital my dad is in here soon. I told you that I was not going to allow you to go back to your parents. You are not allowed to take off work just because your dad is having a little emergency. Who told you today that you could take the day off and go there? I didn't get anyone's permission to come home, and so that's why I left anyway. I couldn't waste my time any longer trying to get you to agree to let me come back here when my dad is in trouble. You are both an employee for this company and the wife in my family. You are only allowed to focus on my family and our company. Right now, you are showing me that you are not cut out to be a wife to my son or my family. Do you think after something like what you've just done, I'm ever going to let you do anything on your own again? When you get back here, I'm going to make sure you understand just how much you need to change in order to be treated like a human again. You don't have to worry about teaching me any lessons. I quit both my job at your company and my job as your son's wife. I left the divorce paperwork and my letter of resignation there for you all. Huh? What kind of bullcrap are you spewing out of that mouth of yours? I have had enough of that life. Having to live with you all and work for that company was far too much for me. So I'm going to act on how exhausted I've become there and come back to my family for good. Are you right in the head right now? You understand that right now is one of the most important and busy times for the company. Do you plan to make all of us here struggle due to your incompetence? I told you before that there are not many people around that have your experience and that we rely on you. So what? It's not my job to worry about not having anyone else to hire to do the work you forced me to do. Not having enough employees is something the business owners should be worried about, right? You're not taking any responsibility for what you've done? You have no place saying that to me. Ever since I married your son, I have had to work for your company nonstop. You heard that I had some experience working in and helping run a business, and that's what made you force me to have to keep up on customer relations and do all of the financial work for you. And on top of that, you've made sure that I do all the chores and cooking in the house. Yet even after all the work I've been forced to do, you guys are still worrying about work? Well, it's your job as the wife to do all of that work for us. That's it right there, Denise. Huh? I have been working long days and given up a lot of my sleep to get all of the work I've been forced to do done, and not once have any of you thanked me for that. And never have you guys seemed to be struggling yourselves, right? I'm not just talking about you either, Denise. I'm saying this about you, my husband, your husband. Well, I've had enough of that life there, and I've learned that it was wrong of me to stay with you all as long as I did. You were working in the hopes that we'd thank you for that? Stop trying to make yourself seem worthy of our thanks, okay? I've told you so many times now that it's your job as the wife to do all of the work. I can't believe that women these days think they don't have to work as much when they become a wife. Who is the real one here that is getting off easy? You have been giving me all of your work as well that you're supposed to be doing, and you pretty much don't have to make an effort to have your company run smoothly. I have seen you over there in your office plenty of times now, sitting behind that desk eating chips and sweets while you complain about the rest of us who are actually working. Is there even a reason for you to be a part of this company anymore? Because as far as I can tell, you are just taking up valuable space in the office. Not me, but you are the one that's not taking any responsibility for what you've been doing. I've heard enough of that crap from you today, Zoe. I am the one that owns the company, and so I can do whatever I want as long as you do my work. So is that the reason why not enough people are working in the company? I think in your case, calling you a manager or boss is only a name at this point and nothing else. You could never do any of the work you're supposed to, and that's why you force everyone else to do your job while you complain. If your job as the boss is just to complain all day and eat, then even a child can do your job. Are you trying to say that I am stupid and useless? You make it sound a bit rude, but to be straight up, yes. I've known for a while now that the only experience of working that you've ever had is within that company, right? I think you should go find another job within a different company for a bit and see what it's really like to have to work a 9-to-5 job. I'm sure that they'll realize how useless you are there, though, and you'll lose your job in no time. You stop all of this screwing around right now, you pile of garbage wife. If you don't want to come back here, then go off and do whatever makes you happy. I don't ever want to see you come back here again, actually. I don't want you in my family or my company ever again.
And thank goodness for that, because I wasn't planning on coming back to any of you after this. And if your company starts to fall apart soon, don't come crying back to me asking for my help. Because I am literally never coming back.
Who do you think is going to be the one crying and asking for help? I may be lacking some employees here now, but I'll just start pushing your work onto some of the other people within the company. The work you did here can be done by anyone, you know. So I could pick anyone off the street to come in, and they would do a better job than you ever could here.
Is that so? Well, that's great to hear. Then I hope you all continue to do your best there. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Are you doing all right, Denise?
Why are you texting me of all people right now? You go and talk to my son or my husband if you have something to ask or say.
But you never ended up blocking me, right? That's probably because you have really wanted me to come back to you, right? No, actually, you need me to come back to you or else you'll be in a whole lot of trouble, right?
You must have heard something from my son then, huh?
I did. I heard all about what's been going on. Ever since I quit my job at your company, things have really been going off the deep end, right? So does that mean you were never able to find a good replacement for me?
I told you that there are all sorts of replacements for you.
Well, then why is your company falling apart so quickly? It seems that a lot of the connections that I had been maintaining with all of the customers have been cut now, right? Which sucks because I put in a lot of effort and time to maintain a good business relation to all of them. What the hell did you do that caused all of them to run away from you?
I haven't done anything to them. I had taken over your job working with all of those customers. But for some reason, when I began to work with all of them, they started to slowly trickle away. It pissed me off. Why were all the customers you had found such annoying and needy people?
Were they all really that hard for you to work with?
When I went to meet with them and talk about how I'd be handling them, they started to yell at me. Why did you have to find all of these stupid customers to work with my company? And what I'd really like to know is why, when you worked with all of them, they never acted that way towards you.
I just did my job as always. But now that you mention it, I can see what might have happened. I remember back in the day when I first started doing customer relations work for an old company I was employed with, I was told that I really know how to handle rude and upset customers.
And so you were even able to deal with all the jerks that have been customers to my company?
Well, to be honest, I was able to work with you for a while as well, so I think I can handle anyone when it comes to maintaining relations. Maybe I should have told you sooner about how they all acted.
Zoe, do you not see how much of all this has screwed us over here? Did you know that this would happen to my company and that's why you left?
Well, I thought that you might be able to handle things back then. Really, I never thought things would go this far south with you losing most of everyone that worked with your own company. But that might be because the number one idiot within the company took over my job and tried to do it. Well,
Now you can see just how horrible you really are at doing your job. Stop that! I was not the one that messed up.
Are you sure about that? Now that I think about what your son told me, there have been some issues with a lot of your employees now too, right?
What kind of issues are you talking about? Are you talking about how recently all of my employees have started to have worse attitudes while at work?
After you started to have issues handling your customers in those other companies, you began to push even more work onto the others, right? And after hearing about the problems you kept on causing again and again, they really lost patience in dealing with their work. So when you think about it, the reason all of them have a poor attitude now while at work is because you caused them to. But now it's too late for you to apologize to most of them, and I feel that they will start to leave the company and destroy it from the inside out. I heard about the whole situation from your son.
I have not done anything wrong that would make them act so out of line.
But anytime you'd make your employees do more work for you to try to save your butt, you'd start going off on them because they don't know how to do your job, telling them to shut up and get back to work. And you'd ask them if they really wanted their next paycheck or not. I think when you start acting like that towards the employees that you already overwork, they have every right to be finished with you and want to leave. Really, Denise, you are a useless idiot when it comes to running a business.
Well then, what would the right thing to do have been? I have been trying so hard to bring my company back up to snuff. But every time I talk with my husband and son about it, they tell me I should get you to come back and work for me. And they're even telling me to stay away from the office now.
And that's the correct thing for them to tell you. All you've done by being in the company is caused it to become worse and worse. And all of the hate within the company that comes from the employees is primarily aimed at you. So if you keep coming into that place every day, I don't think they'll stick around.
But I'm one of the owners of this company. I have to be here, right?
You may be one of the owners, but you are not helpful when it comes to running the business. To be honest, the company even making it as far as it has under your rule without me is quite amazing. But I think that's all going to crumble away now. If you do not leave that company to professionals to handle and save, then it's going to become so bad that there will be no saving it.
No saving it? You're not talking about bankruptcy, right?
Well, it'll only be a matter of time now. I'm sure most of your employees are getting ready to find another job and move away from that toxic work environment. If I were still there, I would be online looking for other work right now.
Hey, come back here and help me. All of the employees have even been asking me to get you to come back here and help us. I'm sure that just by having you back in the office, the employees will all start to brighten up a little again.
Did you know that? That even before this, there were some close calls with your company?
What do you mean?
That back in the day, there have been employees within your company that knew you didn't know how to run the company, and it made them all very anxious. But just because a lot of them were getting ready to quit, I was brought into your company. And when they told me about all the problems they had there, I tried my best to fix them so they would stay. I had to become the HR pretty much and work to maintain a relatively decent working environment. I did things like that for your company, Denise.
Was that something that had been going on? I'm sorry about that. I never knew anything about that. But now I can finally see that you not being here is terrible for my business. So please come help me. I don't want to lose this company.
That's because if that company goes under, you'll have to be the one taking responsibility for all of it, right? You should have already known that you have to be responsible for the company until the very end. But you can't try and push all your problems back onto me when you are responsible for them. And right now, that company's main problem is you, Denise.
So, this is all my fault?
What? Well, that's so strange, isn't it? You yourself had been the only wife in the family for the longest time before I came. Yet instead of helping that company and the family, you had been dragging it down. Maybe that means that you don't have what it takes to be a good wife? After that, I didn't listen anymore to Denise asking me non-stop to come back and help her, and I never did go and back there. And because of my continued absence from there, all of her employees continued to slowly quit, one by one. And because there were no longer enough hands in the office, the workload began to fall behind. And whatever remaining customers Denise had began to leave as well.
Right now, that company is going through a lot of changes as the family went ahead and paid for a business consultant to come and help them get the company back on track. But in the end, all of that was for nothing, and the company continued to bleed lots and lots of money every day. Right now, they are very close to losing the company to bankruptcy. As for me and my family, my dad has made great work getting back on his own 2 feet and is even able to take small steps now to get around again. And currently, I work at my family's cafe helping brew coffees and make dishes. And since this isn't a big company anymore, the only customers I have to deal with are those that are hungry or thirsty and are very easy to please. I think if I had a cafe or store of my own, it'd be a whole lot of fun. So for the time I have living back with my parents, I think I'll take some time to think about what my next step will be and where I want to go.
Hey, Mom. Are you there? I just wanted to let you know that yesterday Rachel and I had our civil ceremony. So we're legally married now.
Oh, really? I didn't know that you were going to be doing that today. Congratulations on that, and tell Rachel the same.
I'll be sure to do that. Thank you, Mom.
And we just have to think of some way that we can celebrate the next time that the 3 of us are able to get together. So if there is any restaurant that you 2 have been wanting to go to, just let me know. It's on me.
Thanks a lot, Mom. We really appreciate that. I'll tell Rachel you said that and see if she has any ideas of where we could go.
Of course, the real celebration is all going to happen at your wedding ceremony.
Come on, Mom. We've already told you that we're not going to have a big wedding ceremony. We'd just be happy to get to celebrate with you.
I know, but how can you not want a big wedding? Don't tell me that you 2 are worried about how much it's going to cost.
No, it isn't a matter of the cost for us. But you know that Rachel really doesn't like to be around crowds and likes being the center of attention even less, right? Besides, you do know that Rachel really doesn't talk with her parents at all.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten about that until you just reminded me now. I guess I really shouldn't have let those facts slip my mind, though. I'm sorry about that. But if that's the case, maybe we can just plan something small? I mean, surely she must want to have some photos of her in a big wedding gown or something like that, right?
Look, Mom, I'm really just going along with what Rachel has told me that she wants to do. If that's something she wants to do, then I'm fine with that. After all, everyone knows the star of the wedding is the bride.
You are certainly right about that. And that's why I want you to know that if Rachel ever says anything about wanting a chance to wear a dress and get some photos taken, that I am more than happy to help make that happen.
I appreciate the offer, Mom, but I hope that you're not just wanting to play dress up using my wife as the model. After all, I think it's fair to see you can be a little bit picky when it comes to fashion.
What are you talking about? Of course I'm not going to make Rachel into some sort of doll that I can do whatever I want with. But just remember, my mother-in-law helped me when I married your father and thought that I should extend the same offer to be there. Besides, Rachel is adorable, and I just know that she would look beautiful in a lovely wedding dress. And that way, we could take lots of pictures for the 2 of you to look back on.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you there. I do think that it would be amazing to see Rachel in a nice dress for our wedding.
Exactly. Even you can't deny it. That's why we have to create a chance for her to wear one. I'll handle the makeup and renting the dress and everything. I'll make sure that she's the most beautiful bride anyone has ever seen.
Okay, well, if we want your help with all that, we'll be sure to let you know. Just please don't get carried away. After all, this is our wedding, not yours. I just don't want you putting too much pressure on Rachel to perform and be the center of attention any more than she is already going to be.
Oh, you don't have a thing to worry about with me. All I want to do is make sure that Rachel has an unforgettable wedding. After all, it's typically once in a lifetime even that you get to wear a wedding dress.
I really appreciate the sentiment, but Rachel's even more shy than I am, and she certainly doesn't really care all that much about clothes, especially not to your level.
Oh, really? You mean not even a little bit?
Well, I just mean compared to you, who has an outfit ready for every occasion. Rachel's a lot more go with the flow, I guess you could say.
Well, I know that we've only met her a few times, but I guess I just never really got that impression from her. I remember the day we met, I thought she had picked out a lovely outfit to be meeting her boyfriend's parents in. And her shoes were quite nice as well. I really wouldn't have thought that was something Rachel just threw together by chance. I guess just seeing her dress up like that gave me the impression that she had at least a passing interest in clothes and fashion.
Well, I guess I can see why you would think that. But just don't go too far with all this. Okay, Mom?
Of course not. I'm sure I was just confirming my own biases in my head. Of course, I shouldn't be making assumptions of people. Although now that we're on the topic of fashion, have you cleaned your shoes like I told you to? Those were completely scuffed the last time I saw you.
Mom, you know that I really don't care all that much about fashion either, right? Besides, I'm an adult and I can take care of my own outfits. Thank you very much. Besides, I really don't try and dress up when I go and visit you. Do you want your own son to feel like he's going to a business meeting when he goes to see you?
Oh, please, you know that I don't care about how you dress while you're at my house. But when you go out, I just thought that you'd want to put some more thought into your appearance.
I mean, I don't think I dress like a bum or anything while I'm outside of the house. But I'm not really thinking all that hard about every little piece that I'm wearing is all.
Well, yes, I'm not trying to say that there's any issue with your style. It's just that it's important to take pride in your appearance, at least up to a certain point anyways. I suppose maybe I still just have my head focused on work, on office life, and all that.
Well, you did have a long career and haven't really been retired for all that long. I guess some instincts take longer to change than others.
If you're suggesting that I still have any desire to keep working, then you're wrong. I've been thoroughly enjoying my time with your father. But you're also quite the hard worker. Have you thought about looking into retiring a bit earlier like I have?
I have thought about it a little, yes. Especially after seeing how much you've been enjoying the retired life. It'd be nice to do something similar with Rachel one day, I think.
Well, just make sure that you don't blind yourself to everything but work to get there. After all, you still have your honeymoon to look forward to. Anyways, just let me know what Rachel thinks about going out to dinner, and mention to her that I really will take care of the dress if she's interested.
Hi there, Laura. I just wanted to let you know that I saw you had left me a few messages, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay.
Oh, hello, Rachel. I was just curious as to where you are right now.
You want to know where I am? Well, I'm just at the house right now.
But that's not actually true, is it? What do you mean? Of course it's true. I'm at home right now.
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. What is all of this about, Laura?
I know that you're at the Uptown shopping mall right now. I'm here too, and I literally just saw you carrying big shopping bags. That's why I wanted to ask about where you are.
I really don't know what to say to that, except that I'm not at any shopping mall and I really am home. Are you sure that you saw the right person? Maybe it was someone else.
You're saying that you think I only saw someone who looks like you and that you're not actually at the mall? But I was sure it was you. You were wearing a black dress and you were talking with some man. Do you understand why a sight like that might have me a little worried and wanting to talk to you?
Laura, I am sorry, but I see exactly what you're saying, and quite frankly, I'm more than just a little offended. I haven't left the house once today, and I really don't want to have to repeat that again. You might have seen someone who looked like me, but I am not that person. I am not talking to any strange men, and I have no shopping bags in my hands, okay?
But I really did see someone who looked just like you. This doesn't make any sense.
Okay, let me be frank with you. Do you have any evidence at all about what you're claiming? I mean, did you happen to take a picture of this person who you think looks like me?
No, I didn't take a picture of her, of course.
Well, if you don't have any proof that we can confirm what you're saying against it, it seems to me that there's a high chance that you're wrong. I mean, no offense, but I've known other people who, when they get to your age,
swear they are always seeing things that aren't really there, so maybe you should be talking about this with your doctor and not me. Now hold on just a second, even if I did make a mistake. I am certainly not so old as to have that be the problem. But I understand that perhaps I'm not the best position to carry on with this line of questioning. If you had any kind of proof at all, things might be different, but you don't, and that's a big problem. Or is this just your way of having fun? Do you enjoy treating your daughter-in-law like this, leveling baseless accusations against me just so that I'm always on a back foot trying to defend myself? Of course not, Rachel. It's nothing like that at all. I mean, I am so happy that you're with my son and that you both make each other happy. It was really difficult for me to muster up the courage to ask you about the person that I saw. Well, I guess it's a good thing we got to the bottom of this and know that you were just mistaken. Because I find it very upsetting that you all but accused me of cheating on my husband so soon after we've just been married. And so you're really telling me the truth about you being at home right now? You really haven't left the house at all? Laura, you really have no right to still be asking me about this when you don't have any proof of what you're talking about. Now I am really starting to get upset with you. I thought that you and I were getting along well, but maybe now I should rethink how I feel about you.
Mom, you haven't been bullying my wife lately, have you?
What? You're asking if I've been bullying Rachel? Of course not. Nothing like that at all.
Well, Rachel is telling me that you have been, and that she doesn't want to see you ever again. I told her about the memorial that we were going to next week, and she asked if she could just stay home. She is terrified to even be in the same room as you.
I had no idea that she was so upset.
She was crying to me about you, Mom. She was saying that you have a whole other side to you that you don't let your family see. I've never seen her so upset.
Okay, come on. I really don't think that I'm that scary. If there's anyone to be scared of, it's Rachel.
And just what is that supposed to mean? Mom, you do realize that you're in big trouble right now, don't you? I don't want to fight with you, but you can't treat my wife the way that you've been treating her, okay? So just please apologize to her.
Hold on, you're telling me that I have to apologize to her?
Well, of course you do, Mom. I don't think you get it. Rachel wants to stop talking to you entirely. That's how upset she is.
Oh, well, if that's what she wants, then fine. I don't really feel like talking to Rachel either, if that's how she's going to be.
Mom, what has gotten into you? Why are you acting this way? I thought you said you were glad I was with Rachel. I thought you two were getting along so well. I don't understand what's going on between the two of you.
Well, I felt the same way as you, at least at first anyways, but that was only until I learned the kind of person Rachel really is.
Kind of person she really is? What do you mean by that, Mom?
Oh, son, this is not how I wanted to have this conversation. I hope you can forgive me, but I've been doing some digging on Rachel.
Digging? What do you mean by that? I don't get what you're trying to tell me.
Chuck, you have to know that Rachel is cheating on you. She's having an affair.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Look, I am really, really sorry to have to tell you like this, but I only ask that you listen to everything I have to say before judging. The thing is that Rachel has been dating someone before the two of you were even married. And she is still with that same person right now.
Mom, come on. You really expect me to believe this? There's just no way that Rachel is cheating on me. We have the same friends and acquaintances. So I'm pretty sure someone would have told me something by now, don't you think?
Well, what if your friends didn't know at all that she was doing this either? And what if that was because Rachel wanted to hide the truth because the man that she was seeing was actually also already married? That would explain why nobody, not her friends or yours, would know about this affair, right?
Mom, you're really serious about this, aren't you? You really think that Rachel is cheating on me?
Chuck, you know that I would never be sending these kinds of messages if I didn't think something was happening. And you know that I'm not the kind of person to bully my own daughter-in-law for no reason.
I know, but if you're saying all of this, then surely you must have some proof of what you're claiming, right? I mean, you just said that you were looking into Rachel.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to for the past few weeks now. Ever since I saw her with another man at the mall. At first, I thought he might have just been a friend, but then I saw the way they were acting towards each other. I tried asking Rachel about this later, after I saw them, but she just insisted that I had seen someone else.
But you're telling me that you're really sure that it was Rachel who you saw that day?
I saw her with my own eyes, Chuck. You have to believe that I'm telling the truth. You should also know that a couple of weeks after I first saw Rachel and this man, I saw them again just last week.
You're kidding me. So then it wasn't even a one-time thing.
Chuck, you're not okay right now, are you?
I don't know. My head is spinning. This is so much to have it all in at once. I don't believe it. I don't want to believe it. Please tell me this is all some kind of horrible joke.
Would you like to come over and spend some time at my house? I have some documents and photos that I'd like to show you. They were all given to me by the PI that I hired to look into Rachel. I know this isn't easy, but I really think that you should take a lot of the evidence that we have.
Yeah, I guess I can come back home today if you think it's best.
But isn't Rachel at home with you right now? Are you going to have to talk to her about visiting me? After all, you do realize that this is probably going to lead to you two having to talk all of this between yourselves, right?
I know, but I have to trust Rachel until I've seen enough that I don't have any more reasons to.
I understand. Well, I don't want to make you do anything that you don't want to do, but you should know the truth. And either way, you're welcome back here anytime. You're just horrible. Do you know this? How could you choose to destroy the happiness that your son had in his marriage? I was wondering when I was going to be hearing from you. But you've got some nerve trying to blame this all on me. Well, I know what you did. Chuck confronted me and he told me to tell him everything, so I told him the truth. That he is nothing but an ATM for me to take money from, and that's it. Is that really what you told him? You really couldn't think of a nice way to put things? You're the one who seems to take the most joy in hurting Chuck, you know. You know, I really think that you should have done a better job raising Chuck right. Raising him right? Just what is that supposed to mean? Chuck is a good boy, and I'm very proud of him. Oh, please, don't you realize that you completely sabotaged Chuck? You should have warned him about the people who might want to get close to him when he makes all that money. All I had to do was bat my eyelashes and give him a little bit of attention before I had him wrapped around my finger. You're the reason it was so easy to trick him. You really are horrible, do you know that? If you didn't really want my son to marry you, then you should have said that. You don't seem to understand I'm already in my mid-20s. It's high time that I settle down. I was ready to quit working and find a man rich and dumb enough to give me the life I wanted. And everything was going so well with no problems at all until you butted in. If you're telling me that I should have just let you continue to cheat on my son without telling him, then that is simply taking things too far. And just what would be so wrong with that? After all, he loved me, and I told him that I loved him. Nothing would have ever come between us if you didn't do what you did. How can you honestly try and put the blame on me when you were the one that was having the affair in the first place? You need to grow up and accept responsibility for what you've done. And just how should I do that? Are you going to tell Chuck to sue me for the affair? Because I'll pay whatever it takes. After all, now that the truth has come out, my real man said he'll pay for whatever you can throw my way. And he's quite rich, so I'm not worried. Are you sure that that's going to work out that way? Because I'm quite sure you'll be the one paying for this. And just how do you figure that when you don't even know who it is that I've been seeing behind Chuck's back? Well, you're wrong about that. In fact, I've already told his wife about what's going on between the two of you. When I told her, though, she had already had her suspicions and couldn't help but laugh. She said it was funny because her husband doesn't have a penny to his name. What in the world are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense at all. You really must not know much about this guy. Otherwise, you would know that the breadwinner is his wife who owns her own business. He just spends all of her money and doesn't work at all. But when he found out that his wife knew, he went to her begging for forgiveness. So it might be your turn to do just that. Wait a second. You're telling me that it's actually his wife who runs the company? That's right, although I understand that this man lied to you and told you that he was in charge. But then, you mean I'm really going to have to pay everything? I'm really totally on my own in this now? That's right. You thought that you could live your life leeching from man to man, all while only caring about what they could do for you. You didn't even care that you had been caught because you were so sure you would have someone else there to clean up your mess for you. But I have Chuck with me right now here, and I told him all about what you've done. There isn't a secret you have that we don't know about. Okay, I understand that I hurt Chuck. But that wasn't my intention. I never really wanted to hurt him. If he's there with you, can't you just let me talk to him? No, there is nothing to talk about. Chuck has already told me that he plans to divorce you and sue you for the affair. So I would quit wasting any more energy trying to plead with me to speak with Chuck. Your time would be better spent looking for a good lawyer. But this isn't how things were supposed to go for me. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Please, you can't do this to me. I am not doing anything to you. All I've done is let my son know the truth. Everything else is of his own volition. If you're looking for someone to blame, you have no one to turn to but yourself for answers. You lied and manipulated my son. Then you tried to gaslight me into thinking that I didn't see what I knew I saw with my own eyes. But now your lies have finally caught up to you, and you are going to pay for what you've done. After that, I heard that Rachel went back to her hometown to try and live with her parents, knowing that Chuck would cancel the lease on their apartment. Unfortunately for her, she didn't think things very far through, as Chuck's lawyer had to forward her his letter to her parents' house as well. I hadn't told Rachel's parents what had happened, but when they saw and read the letter outlining the lawsuit she was facing, they learned all about what a liar their daughter was. Rachel begged and pleaded with them to help her out and that she didn't have anywhere else to go to for help. Her parents agreed to pay all her legal fees, but in exchange, she would have to find a job in her hometown and would be under strict supervision from her parents. I knew that they weren't the kind of people to let her get away with slacking either. As for Chuck, he continued living with me for a few months while he got through the divorce and got back on his feet. After that, he moved out and into a new apartment. He still comes over frequently, but I can see that he's slowly moving past this horrible betrayal. I only hope that one day my son will be able to trust someone the way that he once trusted Rachel.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.